Kevin Smith is a writer, director, actor, podcaster, entrepreneur, comic book writer, and fellow pothead. Kevin Smith has pretty much had his hand in every bit of entertainment I enjoy, including a Kickstarter campaign for a video game called Chronic Blunt Punch. But that's for another video. Anyway, today I want to tell you the story of Live from Behind, the Kevin Smith film you've never seen.
Oh, I'm Jay, and this is my head of a life mate, Silent Bob.
Adventure, excitement, Jedi craves not these things.
Yo, baby, you have your asshole licked by a fat man in an overcoat? Yeah.
So, if you're familiar with Kevin Smith, then you pretty much know he has had his hand in a lot of movies as a writer, director, and or an actor. His production company, View Askew, are also behind his most iconic two characters, Jay and Silent Bob. And on October 15th, the characters will be returning in the new movie, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, which I will be attending a very special screening of the movie. And this is where my story becomes ironic, and it all starts back to the date of February 2nd, 2012.
They gotta hold on to that for the winter months, otherwise they could die.
I would, like, put it this way, if I could grow a beard, which I can't, this has been like 2 months, 3 months, this little business.
Right.
I would grow a beard to keep my face warm out here if I lived here, right, guys?
No.
So, for those who are watching this that are new, Kevin Smith created the two characters by the name of Jay, played by Jason Mewes, and Silent Bob, played by Kevin Smith. And in Kevin's View Askew universe, they are huge even in the minor roles they play within a movie. But Kevin Smith has also helped a lot of famous actors get their start, including Ben Affleck and Jason Lee. And because of this and other movie experiences, Kevin Smith has also made a career with going on the road and doing Q&As where he answers questions from the audience about his movies and his famous actor friends. This includes 3 DVDs of An Evening with Kevin Smith where people can ask questions and hear the stories behind the movies. Kevin then commented about how he once saw a promo for a live concert for the Dave Matthews Band where it showed the band playing live across the country in movie theaters. This is where Kevin Smith came up with an idea.
We're trying to come up with a name for this event. We always like to name the show so it's not just Evening with Kevin Smith. And so we were thinking of a bunch, came up with a short list. Kevin Smith Live from Behind, made us all kind of smile and titter a little bit in that schoolboy kind of way. The very close second was Kevin Smith Turn Off the Dark, but we were afraid we'd get sued by the Spider-Man people. And also, we didn't want to send a message like people might get killed at our show. Nobody gonna get hurt at Kevin Smith Live from Behind, except maybe Kevin Smith. I think basically every Q&A is up to the audience. Like, I only talk about what the audience wants to talk about. I don't really come with a set list of materials. There's definitely some stories you get asked more often than not. But it's always kind of up to the audience, and that's usually meant for just the audience in the room. So doing it this way, where we're beaming into a bunch of different theaters, now you're getting a variety of questions, the possibility of questions that you might not have gotten in the one room, suddenly you're getting from another theater someplace else. So it's up to them, it's always up to the audience what we talk about, and hopefully with that many people included, it'll go weird, wonderful places. No such thing as a bad question. Even if somebody's just like, why do you suck so hard? That's a wonderful opening for me. Like, well, let me tell you, and then boom, you go into your story and then you cut that person down to size. So it's win-win. There's no such thing as bad questions, and there's no set list, and there's no like, geez, I wonder what we'll talk about. I don't know. When I show up, that's what I'm kind of always most enthusiastic about. It's like, I wonder where it'll go this evening, what we'll talk about, because that's kind of the fun of it for me. Otherwise, if you just go up there and answer the same 10 questions all the time, it's no fun for them. It's not going to be as much fun for them because it ain't going to be as much fun for me. But if I'm up there and you're engaged and a question you've never heard before, and it lights up that side of your brain. Boom, you're into a different show altogether. So the show is always as different as the audience allows it to be. Hey man, February 2nd, I'm going to be coming to a theater near you for a special event, broadcast right into a theater. You're going to have a great time, Q&A, a little bit of podcast. Me, Jason Mewes, going to be a great, great time. Come on out and see it. February 2nd. Hey man, it's Kevin Smith, and guess what? Jay and Silent Bob are coming back to movie theaters. That's right, we're going to do a live event. Kevin Smith live from behind. Watch the show. Ask questions on Twitter. Hashtag it live from behind, and I'm going to answer your question. And I'm bringing Jason Mewes. Come on out. February 2nd, one night only. It's going to be fantastic.
So, to give you a brief idea of the events to come, Kevin Smith will be having a special live show across theaters nationwide where he speaks with Jason Mewes about their lives and the movies they've created together. And then after the discussion, there would be a Q&A with the audience, much like his DVDs that are called An Evening with Kevin Smith, but live in theaters. So, with this, the event was planned, and in the midst of all this, a contest was set up for all fans. Have you submitted your questions for our Kevin Smith Live From Behind event on February 2nd? You have 2 ways to enter. On Twitter with hashtag Live From Behind, or by submitting a video question. Record yourself asking Kevin Smith a question in 30 seconds or less and upload to YouTube with the title Kevin Smith Live From Behind. And with that, fans flocked with videos galore and tweets everywhere. So, keep in mind that this was to be shown at theaters that hosted Fathom Events movies and specials and was presented by a company called AK-27 Productions. Now, for Fathom Events, they are still alive and strong and still hosting special events and movies, which we will get back to later. But as for AK-27 Productions, who knows? But if you Google AK-27 Productions, you'll only find one thing. They're famed for this one and only live event. And honestly, I can see why they didn't last, but we'll get back to that later in the video. So many fans submitted a video to Kevin Smith on the day of the announcement, and fans flocked to see the special one-event event in select theaters. Now, the theater I was going to was new at the time, but at the time, I also never realized how this one theater would become a staple for me when it came to movies to this day. But again, I'm getting sidetracked. So, on the date of February 2nd, 2012, I sat down in the theater to see Kevin Smith's Live From Behind with my friend Elena. I was excited to get things rolling and had no idea what to expect. Tonight was going to be bigger than anything I ever dreamed of, and you cannot understand how I felt when it actually happened. Now, going back to the original post, you noticed they said you have 2 ways to enter. On Twitter with the hashtag Live From Behind, or by submitting a video question on YouTube. Now, loyal viewer, I did both and was constantly checking Twitter on my phone to see when it was time to ask a question on Twitter when I suddenly got a message from AK-27 Productions about my video. Now, unfortunately, because AK-27 Productions is no longer around, I couldn't get their tweets, but I could get my response. So I'll fill it in for you. AK-27 Productions, your video has been chosen. Please respond now to have your video selected. Oh, wait, my question's been chosen? Then I got no response from AK-27 Productions. So I responded again. I'm here at the theater. Please, I hope I'm not too late. Suddenly, AK-27 Productions responded. Please confirm your email. And I did, accordingly. blah@hotmail.com. Then, no response. Now let me set up what I was seeing on the big screen. Prior to the Q&A, Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes were doing a special show called Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, where they talk about their past together as friends and in the movies. Now, even at one point, the power even goes out in the live stream, where we could still see them, but their mics cut out. But once they got things back up and rolling, they finished up the Jay and Silent Bob Get Old segment and moved on to the Q&A portion. And to start things off, they decided to answer the one and only YouTube question that was chosen. And here is that video that was chosen.
Hi, Kevin. My name is Chris. Glad to be on the show. My question is this. If you had the opportunity to you and Jason Mewes had an opportunity to host SNL, would you do it? Or if you had the opportunity to appear on Neil's show, what would it be and why? Thanks.
Yep, that is yours truly, Puttyman. My video was chosen. I was on the big screen briefly for 20 seconds across the country. I literally freaked out. I leaped up out of the theater seat and was just like freaking out in the theaters. The audience behind me was also freaking out, but for different reasons. All they would tell me is, sit down. But I turned around quickly and say, that's me, that's me. My heart was pounding, like I was dreaming, and at any moment I would wake up. But I wasn't sleeping. My question was chosen. I was briefly on the big screen with pride and excitement. I couldn't believe it was even happening, and my jaw was on the floor the whole show. To be honest, I didn't even prepare in the video. I didn't look good. I didn't think my video was going to be chosen. So, you might be asking, what was his answer? Well, unfortunately, there is no footage online of his answer, but I will never ever forget what he and Jason Mewes said. Now, Kevin Smith started with, hosts aren't alive? I wouldn't be good for that or chosen. It wouldn't work for me. I already did one of my favorite shows, Degrassi, so I don't know of anything else. What about you, Jay? And Jason Mewes said, Murder, She Wrote, without skipping a beat. Kevin Smith said, are you serious? I didn't know you liked that show. Jason Mewes said, I freaking love that show. I would want to solve mysteries with her and shit. Now, of course, I'm paraphrasing everything, but more or less this is what was said, but not word for word exactly. Murder, She Wrote shocked me, but this is the first time Kevin found out that Jason liked Murder, She Wrote. So, from this point on, the show continued with them answering Twitter questions and questions from the audience in Canada where they were shooting. Honestly, I don't remember what other questions were asked or answered that night because I was on cloud 9. So when the show ended, a bunch of the audience stopped me outside to see if it was really me and just to talk. I went into a rant about how I loved all his movies and have been a fan for years. It was my 5 minutes of fame. Now, the next day, my friend Elena reminded me that in the contest I get a signed poster, so I went to Twitter to find out. And this is what I said on Twitter. Puttyman, thank you for letting me have the opportunity to ask my question. I was the YouTube winning entry. Thank you. And then I said again more, hi, this is Chris Roberts. My friend just addressed to me that the YouTube contest winner gets a free poster. Is this true? Now understand, I tweeted this to both Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes and got this response from Jason Mewes. This is from Jason Mewes. At Puttyman_, at that Kevin Smith, that's a question for at AK27 Productions. I will ask them. And then he ended it with at this guy Jeff. And then at this guy Jeff responded saying at J Mewes, at Puttyman_, at that Kevin Smith, and at AK27 Productions. Should be taking care of them from AK27. I left that with them. So, I then emailed AK27 Productions to get their response. Now, before I briefly get into this email about the poster, I want to clarify something. I am now tweeting at this point with Jason Mewes, aka Jay, and no matter how long it took me to get my signed poster, I was consumed with joy to be getting responses from Jason Mewes. Heck, here's one of them. Jason Mewes tweeted, I finally got a video with a real ninja. Snooch to the nooch. Check it out. Then the video title says, got an STD? Now, this was kind of odd to me, so I responded with, at J Mewes. Wait, do you have an STD? That's where the link took me to. And I was going around saying Hoobastank. That's a meme from The Lonely Island. Anyway, continue on. Jason Mewes replying to at Puttyman, I posted the wrong link. And he posted a new link. Keep in mind, this is Jason Mewes responding to me. I didn't think he would, but he did. So needless to say, you see in this email, it did take me a while to get the poster. I got in contact with Katie from AK27 Productions as we corresponded back and forth. It took a long time for me to get any straight answer, and this could have been the downfall for AK27 Productions. But the poster was being mailed from Canada, and I did patiently wait until... Alright, here we go, guys. Now, this is going to be the third time I've shown this poster, but this is going to be the world premiere, basically. Only one person won this poster, guys. One person, and that was me. It was for a contest. My video got shown. Unfortunately, the miscalculations of the power and everything else going on. I think they never released it on DVD, so it's pretty much in the vault. So I'm the only one that actually owns this, and I'm the only one that owns the video of the winning video. And now you're going to get to see the poster. So I put out some of my Kevin Smith stuff out here, as you can see, all nice. Here's my Evening Harder, the one I was talking about in the video. We have James Silent Bob's Chasing Dogma, which is the book between Chasing Amy and Dogma. You have the classic and what is the first movie that they did, which the sequel comes out October 15th, which is James Silent Bob's Strike Back. But you guys are here to see the poster, not to see my collection. You're here to see this. Now, I already opened it. I wanted to have it ready and everything. So here it is. When they gave it to me, it was folded. I've only opened this 2 other times, guys. 2 other times. And this will be the last time I open this. You can see that there's age to it. It's been in an envelope this whole time. The reason why I don't take it out much is because when I do officially take it out, I'm going to frame it. But the problem is they sent it to me folded. So it feels like it's kind of lost in that way. But it was, I mean, what are you going to do? It's a big poster, by the way. This is actually like a poster they put in their display cases. So here we go, guys. For Kevin Smith, live from behind. For one night only, guys. One night only. Oh, here we go. Boom. There it is. It says Kevin Smith, live from behind. And there's the autographs right there, guys. With Kevin Smith and there's Jason Mewes. It says one night only. And then live from Toronto. Thought it was Ontario, but it was Toronto. But the company, the one that did the poster and everything, the AK that's on the corner there, AK-27, you see in the corner, right corner there? They're the ones that are based in Ontario, Canada. But there you guys have it. That is the poster right there. Signed by them and everything. The love I have for this poster. But let's go ahead and get it folded back up. And let's let my other version of me take over. Go ahead. And there, my friends, is the story of the live event you never saw with Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. I hope you enjoyed my short path into 5 minutes of fame. But before I end this video, I want to tell you something a little ironic, but nonetheless poetic. When I went to see Kevin Smith's Live from Behind, I went to a particular theater in my neck of the woods called the Carolina. And the Carolina was the only location that was hosting Fathom Events movies in my area. Now, after that day, I didn't regularly go back to the same theater until I created the Gamer Potheads YouTube channel. And after going back to the Carolina, I found that they had reclining seats, and I fell back in love with that same theater. So, with the company of Cinemark taking over the theater, but keeping Fathom Events, I became a member of the Rewards Club and in return would go to the movies regularly. And on October 15th, ladies and gentlemen, I will be going back for another special event with Kevin Smith at the same theater this is all happening. I will be attending a special showing of Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, which will include a special introduction with behind the scenes, and yet, guys, another poster. So, if you want to see the results of that event and my official review, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be ready to be part of the next Kevin Smith event that I will be a part of. And there you guys have it. I am Puttyman with GamerPods. I thank you so much. Do not forget, we're all about the high score, and let's end it off right with a little bit of Snoochie Boochies and a Snoogins, everyone. I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching.